What's going on, everybody? Long time no see. What's up? What's up? What's up? Listen, haven't been doing the show. Still haven't fixed my computer yet. I figure why even bother doing a show if it's not going to look quality. But like I said, I got my laptop. Couldn't stay away too long. It's been a crazy, 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 crazy time. But listen, the Yankees made an addition today. They got Yardborough from the Blue Jays. I guess he got let go or on waivers, and the Yankees picked him up and signed him to a 1 year contract. So we get another added lefty to the bullpen, which is good. But I mean, how's it shake out? From what I know about Yardborough, he's not going to blow you away with spectacular stuff when it comes to heat, but he does have a great curveball. His off-speed pitches are really plus if you want to add. So does that help the bullpen? I think it does. He can, he'll strike people out with his curveball, but he's not going to blow anybody with his fastball. So the Yankees going to let a lefty. They've been just riddled by the injury bug, which we all know. I'm not even going to get into that. But you know, with opening day a few days away, can they really get to the World Series? Right? Can they get to that? That's my biggest question. Do they have what it takes to get to the World Series? That's the biggest conversation of this podcast tonight. Um, let's just start off with saying this is why in previous shows I said the Yankees should build a team during the offseason to completion. You don't want to wait until spring training. You don't want to wait till the trade deadline because players just become extremely expensive. Too many teams are in it because the trade deadline is not pushed back to, say, August, right? And it becomes expensive trying to obtain talent that you're probably only going to have for a couple of months. Does it help you win a World Series? Possibly. Is it worth giving away the prospects? I personally don't think so. Just my opinion. I could be wrong, but for the most part, that's what you're going to contend with. And I really, really, really wanted Cashman to um, build a team to completion during the offseason, like the Dodgers did. Andrew Freeman stated it. You want to build a team to its entirety in the offseason because things just go crazy. Um, and you could see a prime example of this. The Dodgers won the World Series last year, right? I think the games are closer than people kind of lead on to. The Yankees did shit the bed. They basically lost the World Series all on their own. But what did the Dodgers do? They won and they doubled down, right? Most teams, if you look through history, they'll win the World Series and they'll kind of dismantle the team. Like once they got that trophy, hey, we won. Let's get rid of these high-priced players and trade them over here and try and get this and reset. No, they doubled down. Why? Because the Dodgers had a ton of injuries last year. And the Dodgers said, wow, we barely beat the Yankees. Matter of fact, the Yankees did us a solid and beat themselves. Really, let's just not take anything away from the Dodgers. I'm not. But let's just, if you want to call a spade and call the truth, they realized, wow, those games were way too close for comfort. And if a run or two either way on the opposite team, and we're singing the different tune. So what do they do to combat that? They were smart. They said, let's get a whole bunch of more pitching, a whole bunch of more position players, double down. So if the injury bug does hit, if you look at the Dodgers position players, if one of their starters get hurt, those backup players can be starters. Like they're good, like they're decent. They have like three or four or five closers on that team. I mean, that could be closers. Like it's ridiculous. So they've really, really doubled down to where anything happens, they've got some depth. They're really deep. And, hats off to them and their organization for believing in that. The Yankees don't want to spend that kind of money. My suggestion to Hal, listen, find Merrill Lynch. They're blue and white, just like the Yankees. Find a hedge fund that maybe their CEO is a Yankee fan. Have them buy out all your current investors and get them to invest in the Yankees. That's what I would do. If money's an issue, find a hedge fund or somebody who's got a ton of money, partner up with them that wants to bring a couple championships back if you feel that the money the Yankees are making is not enough or wouldn't look properly at a business or finance level if they're running in, the red, right? And that's any business. You don't want to run the red. You want to run the black, right? You want to run where there's profits. So when you need lines of credits or loans, a bank can look at you and say, "Oh, okay, you're profitable," because I've been through this before where I've worked for companies where they have lines of credits, and if the bank analyzes these lines of credits every month, sorry, once a year, and if you're not above at least a 30-40% profit, they're like, why are we lending you money? They will pull that back. So from a business standpoint, I get it. But for the most part, um, if money is the problem right now for Hal to really field a championship caliber team because he doesn't believe $300 million is enough, which there's times I side with Hal. It shouldn't be that way. I think the Yankees can win with a 250, $270 million team. Why? Look at the Kansas City Royals. Look at other teams that don't have that kind of funding and they're putting up good numbers with young talent. But remember, the Yankees cannot, they don't, they win, they often place in the top tier in the division almost every year. They're not going to get a, you know, high first round draft pick. It's just not going to happen. They're going to pick towards the bottom of the barrel. Not saying that anyone in the first round is just dog crap, but they're going to pick towards the end. So they rely on international, free agents, the draft, not the draft, free agency to build their team. That's just how the Yankees are built. That's how they're probably always going to be built. So, God bless them. They've fielded a great farm system that's brought us Austin Wells. He's kicking ass and taking names in spring training. Ben Rice looks like a completely different human being. Pablo Reyes is kicking tail. JC Escara, guy used to be an Uber driver, made the roster. He can rake. He can hit for power. Their farm system, Aaron Judge, I can go on. Although Gary Sanchez isn't playing for us anymore, it yielded Gary Sanchez. It yielded Luis Heel, Clark Schmidt, Michael King. So for people to say that the Yankees farm system is garbage, I don't understand that. I don't understand the criticism when a lot of the guys are playing on their current roster. Are they a you know um, Gunnar Henderson? No, but are they average league players? Hey, that's on the cheap. Yeah, they are. They are. We're hoping Volpe takes the next step forward. He's in his third year as a baseball player. I'm hoping he's learning and developing and not getting it. I think Volpe gets into his own head and constantly tweaking too much. Just be comfortable. Be who you are. See the ball, hit the ball, right? You don't have to pull everything. Um, but the team looks good so far. Will they make it to the World Series? I have no idea. I think they can. Can they win? If Ben Rice has a good year, if Austin Wells has a good year, I believe Paul Goldschmidt's going to have a good year. Cody Bellinger right now looks like, just amazing. If that guy can hit 290 or 300 and built 30 home runs, that's what you're missing from Juan Soto, right? If Aaron Judge can have another great year, what more do you need? The team is more balanced. I think right now they need to get a right-handed bat, which they are talking about getting a right-handed bat. Do I see it happening? I don't. Maybe if somebody releases someone or puts them on waivers, they might pick somebody up. But I don't see them trading for somebody. Why? I don't think teams want to help the Yankees out. As crazy as that may sound, you might think that sounds crazy. They don't want to help them out, and they're going to be the asking price for someone is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be out of this world. I don't see them picking up a pitcher either, like a Dylan Cease or Michael King. The asking price for that will totally decimate the Yankee farm system. I don't see it happening. So unless another major injury happens, at this point, the Yankees might just want to call it a fold. Like, just keep trading players away from the farm system for what? Because they're going to want George Lombard Jr. They might ask for Jason Dominguez, right? Even the trade deadline, think about that. Suppose Vladdy's available or Kyle Tucker's available from the Cubs because maybe the Cubs are out of it or the Blue Jays are out of it or whatever. What do you think those teams are going to want to get one of those two players? They're going to want your arm, your leg, your sister, your mother, your brother, a hip, a kidney. Come on, think about that. At the trade deadline for a 2-month rental or a month and a half rental, could it be make or break for the World Series? Yeah, but if your team doesn't have Garrett Cole, we pray Luis Seal's going to come back, right? I think Max Fried can hold his own. We hope that Carlos Rodon advances. Um, and the rest right now is up to Stroman and Carlos Carrasco and Will Warren. I know maybe Will Warren has a breakout year. I have no idea. So I think right now they sat back. They allowed money to really, which is really weird. They allowed money to really shape the team. If they were so worried about being over that final threshold, they should have just traded Stroman to begin with, even if they ate most of his salary and be below the $300 million mark. But they didn't. Now they have him because they need him, right? Cole's out, Luis Heal's out, Schmidt has to get ramped up, so he's not available right now. So it's like now you're over it. You're still over that threshold. Then just go over it. Go over it with authority, right? Stanton's out, so like I said, we're hoping Ben Rice, maybe J.C. Escara, maybe some of those guys in the lineup can replace some of that power that's missing. It's going to be a long season. It's going to be an interesting season. So I'm curious to see what happens. But like I said, this could have all been avoided if Woody had gone to the police. This would have never happened. That's from Woody Woodpecker show back in the day. I'm showing my age. But now I'm thinking that if they, uh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I do think they're a better balanced team. I really do, position player wise. But they need that. They need that special oomph from the bat. Maybe Dominguez takes a leap. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he could bat 270, 280. That'd be great if he puts those numbers up. Um, but comment, say something in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. Always remember to like and subscribe. Like I said, sorry I've not been here, but I'd rather not do a show if it's going to look like crap. And who knows how it looks out from my laptop. I know when I'm in, when I had the mega computer work and everything looked great, but the internet is not, there's something wrong with that motherboard. So, like I said, right now I'm not in the position to replace that device. I will um, soon, but just got to hold on a few more months. Then I'll have some cash available to get that done. Um, but for the most part, the Yankees going to be interesting. I'm hoping they can go all the way. And can they beat the Dodgers? I know the Dodgers. Listen, baseball has to be played on paper. Anything can happen. Teams can be riddled with injuries. The Dodgers can be riddled with injuries. A lot of things can go wrong. But for the most part, the Dodgers look good right now. A lot of teams look good right now. Right now, Mets and Yankees, I'm not so sure about it. Not so sure about those two teams. But we'll see. Um, that's all I have. Just want to come on real quick, shoot the what for a little while. Um, don't have much to say. Like I said, what was his name? Ryan. Let me see here. Yankees. Yeah, Ryan Yarbrough. That's his name. Yep. Um, the deal's for 1 year, 2 million, with an additional 500,000. So they're over. I mean, they're they're over the threshold. It just doesn't make any sense, man. These guys, they're playing games. The Yankees are playing games. They ask from their elbows sometimes. Um. Anyway, um, that's all I got for you guys. Nothing much. If something else happens, I'll definitely come on. I know I said it before. This time I will make an effort to come on at least once a week, especially with the season about to start. Lots to happen. A lot of excitement. I've been watching some spring training games, seeing how the batters are approaching the opposing pitchers. Some of them look good, like they're taking good approaches. Like you could see where Austin Wells, JC Escaro, Pablo Reyes, like I said, some of the younger guys that are on the team now, Ben Rice, where their approach is different. You want that methodical approach to the game. You don't want it to be just willy nilly, flailing at everything. I still see Anthony Volpe flailing at the outside pitch. I mean, it's not your pitch. Lay off it. If you're going to go after it, then hit it the opposite field. Might foul it off, but I mean, you can't pull that pitch. As for Peraza, I think he's played himself off the team. Um, Once again, Yankee blunder. They had two shortstops, Volpe and Peraza. And I'm thinking, and this is just my opinion, greed is what caused this debacle. What do I mean by that? Think about it where I collect comic books, right? Sometimes I have duplicate comics, and I often debate whether I should sell one and keep one because you never know if the one you're selling is the better of the two. The one that you might look good might have some slight imperfection that you can't see and receives a lower grade upon grading said book. Whereas the one that what looks to you like, oh, well, it looks really good, could be even a higher grade because it's actually flawless, but your eyes are just maybe playing tricks on you. The Yankees did that in a less understanding example of what I just explained, but they did the same thing with Peraz and Volpe. I guarantee they didn't know which one they wanted to keep. They were both good in their day. They were both highly touted prospects. And I think with Volpe, they were like, well, he doesn't have the arm for shortstop, so he might be a second baseman. Where Peraza had a cannon arm, he profiles perfect for shortstop, but not and great at defense, but not sure about his bat. Right? They could have traded one of those guys a while back and either maybe picked up Castillo, Luis Castillo, or other important players that could have built this team, or trade for young prospects to get something in return. And they didn't. They kept them both. They, Peraza came up um, at the end of the 2022 season, I think. I'm gonna check that. And performed well for like, I don't know, 15, 20 games, small sample size, batting 317. I think they saw that and maybe hoped something well. At that point, I would have traded on his high value. I would have. I'm not saying it now because he's not performing well. I always wanted them to keep just devote time to one, which they did with Volpe, and then get rid of the second one. Instead, now then he got injured, and then now he's coming back, and then I mean, they really ruined this kid. They ruined him, and they ruined his trade value. On a positive note, Everson Pereira, he was injured last year. He looked horrible when he came up along with Peraza that same season, but was it, or maybe it was the 2023 season, and then he was injured all last year, and I mean, he looked great in spring training. They sent him back down to get some more reps, but he looked really great. Power seems to be back after the UCL injury. That usually goes down for a year. If you tear your UCL and you rehab and come back, the same year you play, the power's down, and the year after that, you kind of get your power back. But um, I don't know. They really just tank that kid's value. And now he's probably not going to make the team. And if they're trying to trade him, think about this, guys. Why would anyone want to trade for a guy that you're going to probably DFA or release or put on waivers? Does that make any sense? GMs aren't stupid. Yeah, so you want to trade Peraza because he's probably not going to make your team, but you want that for him. No. Or they're just going to wait till you DFA him. There isn't a spot for him. Straight up. So the Yankees just worked themselves into a corner once again, being greedy, being greedy. Um, anyway, I've said my piece. I've said my piece. Like I said, once a week I'll do my best to be on. I'll use the laptop as much as I cringe using it. It doesn't look professional. Camera is just not, 1080p. It's just not. Um, but and the sound, I've got to use a headset with the sound. Um, yeah, that's how it can go. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so and with the sound, I have to use a headset because the microphone for the laptop is horrible. Anyway, guys, enough of my problems. Thank you for listening. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment and share. Okay, and then I'll see you guys next week. But listen, season's on, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. We're gonna root for the Yankees no matter what. Win, lose, there's no draw except in spring training. But we're gonna root for them and see where they go with this. I think they can go all the way. Whether they can win it, well, we'll see what happens. Guys, I'm Errol from Sports Geek. Thank you again. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Peace.